Open bar.
Open bar. Open bar.
Open bar.
Open bar. Open bar.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
You gotta go. Up. Bye. Bye.
What
Thanks.
you doing here? Let's go, let's go. Let's go.
Ladies
Knocking
night.
on swole and stuff.
And we're back.
guys.
As you can see, today is going to be a little bit different. It's a little special. We have our girls, TP Paige. You already know. We got baby mama Kita. And we got me, Lettie.
Yes, the champ.
Yes, sir.
So today is going to be a little different, as you can see. Today is going to be a little special in regards to the women in calisthenics. We're going to be recognizing some amazing athletes. And the way we're going to start this off is basically just letting you guys know what inspired us, what motivated us to go into calisthenics, considering it being such a man sport. Alright, so also I just want to throw it out there what shirts we have on today, what we're representing today. We got TP with the Sparta Camp shirt, which is what initially started with Sparta back in, what year was
Before
that?
2015.
Before 2015. We got Mama Kita with the Bar Goddess shirt. Shout out to Matt and Sam. And we got, you already know what it is. So we're going to start it off with what inspired us, what motivated us, and what got us into calisthenics, considering it being such a man's sport. We're going to go ahead and start that off with Mama Kita, considering she was one of the first females on the team. Go ahead.
Hello, guys. So I started calisthenic training in the year 2015. I actually started in my house. I did not know how to do a push-up. Still struggling with my pull-ups. And if anyone knows me knows that I hate squats. I'm like the only girl that I hate doing them like this.
Word.
It's natural. It's natural. I was born with this. Thank you, mommy. But I hate doing squats. But my husband Anthony, aka Snoop, he started training me in the house. So I was literally doing push-ups on my knees, struggling. The girlies. And I mean, we used to call him Ike. We used to call Snoop Ike when it came to the training because he would throw a shoe if you didn't get it together.
I was scared.
So yeah. So that's what it was in the house. And I actually trained with my brother. Anthony was training both of us. And
Josh.
Yep. And we would be trying to do the pulls while I would be doing negatives and dead hangs until I obtained my first pull-up. Yeah, so that
felt like a big accomplishment. Huh?
You know what? Because I struggle so much with pull-ups, I don't know what it is. It's like my kryptonite. When I finally got to like 8, I was so excited, and that took me like damn near 3 years. So that was it was pretty good.
Was there somebody you'd say that inspired you to get a woman that inspired
Yes,
you to get into
actually, when I was in Sparta, Paige came along after me. But then I remember we went to, I think it was the gym on Marcy.
Yes.
And it was like Shells and Shy was there.
Both of them.
Yes. And then Paige got on the bar. Mind you, I'm still struggling, and I'm like already in. And then Paige gets on the bar and she starts doing her pulls, and it was just like, shh, shh. And I was like, what the?
I don't think I had it yet.
No, you did. You did. I remember. I may not have had the numbers you have now.
Okay.
But it was still like, remember I was still struggling like 1.
Yeah.
But you just had it, and I was just like, wow, like she's strong. And then we started our competition.
Yeah.
In 2015, I remember that morning I drove and picked you up.
You was nervous.
really nervous. But she killed it, and I remember just watching her. It was like she was like naturally built for this. Pulls, dips, and like her form, it was just like, what the hell? What do you eat in the morning, first of all? Like, what are you taking? She was just like naturally built for it. And I remember always telling Snoop, I'm like, damn, like Paige, she just got it. Like, I gotta work extra for this shit. And she just had it. So you definitely like inspired me. Little old you.
I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did.
What about how you started?
Well, for myself, I would say that I was always big on home workouts, and I always worked out by myself.
Okay.
Little behold, I met Snoop like, I don't even know what year it was, but being like the great person and friend that he is, he always keeps in contact with people.
Yeah.
So he kept in contact with me and would see my workout videos and be like, yo, come work out with us one day. And I'm like, all right. So I think I met up with them in Marcy.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I saw Keita. I'm like, okay, a female's here.
Yeah.
And I felt comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So my biggest thing has always been a challenge. I like challenges. I like something to push me. Working out by yourself, you have motivation.
That competitive nature.
Yeah, but I've always been like that. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, what are they doing? I want to match the energy. I want to, you know. So fast forward, it's Sparta camp. Like, this is training. This training is you keeping up with guys.
Yes.
For me, it's no girly stuff. I didn't come to the gym to talk and laugh and play and, oh my God, I'm sweating. Let me take a picture. No, like, we're working. Ike, Snoop, he's barking at you, but I loved it. Like, I want this. I need this push.
Yes.
I want to improve myself. I want to get my numbers up. So, you know, that's what we were doing. And fast forward, the first comp, I'm like, nah, I'm scared. I'm nervous. I can't do this. You're gonna do it. What?
Yes.
All right. But I was nervous, but as soon as it was time to get on that bar, it's not about a competition with anyone else. It was for myself to show all the hard work that I had been working up to that point.
Yes.
So to get on that bar, it's an adrenaline rush for me.
Yes.
Like, you know, I don't know how anyone else feels, but when it's time to go, it's like something clicks inside, and I'm like, oh, I'm winning.
Yes.
You know, and 2015,
That was your first.
I did,
Yes.
and I was just happy. Like, I was happy for the presence of all the women there because we was all motivating each other.
Yes.
And I was like, whoa! I was shocked. I was like, I won? Me? What? And you know, my team was like, just take it in.
Yes.
It is what it is. You worked hard for it, and from then on, I was like, I just want to keep going. I want to get, work harder and stronger. But yes, it's a man's sport, but us women are strong as hell. You already know.
Shout out to Puck J.
Yes.
Because remember that day when we walked in, I think it was Keith that greeted us.
He was happy because
And he was just like, you guys are staying, right? We're like, yeah.
Because remember, I don't think any women were really
We're doing it.
competing yet.
No.
We were the first women's division.
Was there one of those women, or was there a woman in general that inspired you?
Joya. I think at the time it was Joya when we first started, because Joya had
to level up
Yes.
with strength.
Yes.
Definitely
Joya.
Joya.
Mhm.
What's that Instagram?
Barmaid.
I'm like, but definitely within my circle, I would say Trish.
Yeah.
She technically, I think, was the first one before any of us came there.
Yes.
And she just was always moving. I'm like, yo, she's
Squats.
She's small, but she's super strong. And like, she's quiet and humble about it at the same time. Like, if we're all talking, she's in the corner doing squats or doing something else.
Jose.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing all that. But yeah, but she definitely was strong, and I'd be watching like, can I join in? And she was always very friendly, so that was a start for me. And then, you know, we all just collectively came together, being a team, being a family, being friends, and no matter what, we all stayed together.
Yes.
So
Shout out to the Sparta family.
Yeah.
Shout out to our
Sparta
family.
Yes.
Shout out
Yes.
to the Sparta family.
and I think we're a big motivation for a lot of women, especially on social media.
We're
like
the
they follow and watch us.
only calisthenic female.
Yeah,
Team.
group.
Yeah.
To make a dent in the
Yeah.
competitions and just in general.
You know,
We're
shout out to
strong.
Coco too. Our little gypsy queen.
Yes.
I love you, Coco.
Coco's strong.
She is strong, and you know what did they call it? 40 and over.
Yes.
So that's a category she would have fallen in, and she was one of the women that pushed me as well. I remember she actually stayed the night at our house when she first came out. I think it was from Canada, and her energy was really dope. It was really dope.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Coco.
Shout out to all the females out there.
Yes,
All the
yes.
females. Yes.
Well, me being one of the final girls to join Sparta, these two definitely inspired me. I remember the story of when I went up to Kita. She was like right next to Stoop. And I wanted to learn a handstand. I looked at her and she looked like she knew how to do a handstand, right? So I walked up to her and I'm like, do you know how to do a handstand? She's like, kind of. You know, because Kita, when you
Sounds
meet her,
just
she's
like that.
kind of timid. She's a little shy. But once she warms up to you, you know, she's very friendly or whatever. So she went, she helped me out. She caught me, almost fell on my head. It was the funniest thing ever. And then later on, I just met Shells. I met Snoop. I met a whole bunch of different people part of the Sparta team. And then I got introduced to Paige and Trish. And they just inspired me to go out there seeing women just working out with these guys, doing these push-ups, these pull-ups, looking so strong. I admired that. You know, so in the gym, they were my first motivation. And this was what, back in 2015? 2016? 2016. I think it was 2016. Like around March or April, around then. When I met them, and I didn't compete until the following year, which was winter reps. So I missed that. I missed that summer one with y'all.
Mhm.
Yeah. Which shout out to Melanie from overseas.
Yes.
She ended up winning first place.
Strong.
Yeah.
Strong,
Very
strong,
strong.
Yeah.
Very strong. Reps and freestyle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very strong.
And she was doing muscle ups.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she was doing
That was the
muscle-ups
first
like
time
crazy.
in a muscle up division with her.
Yeah.
She was in it by herself, I believe.
Oh really?
And speaking of which,
Oh, nope, I'm sorry. 2015 was Slimos doing muscle ups by herself.
Oh, shout out to Slimmers.
2016
was
was Melanie.
Shout out to Slimmers. She muscle up queen over there.
Yeah, she's strong.
and even
from
with
that
Chi.
Oh yeah, Chi.
Chi.
Our our new gem. Chi.
Yes.
We love Chi out here.
Shout
She's
Shout
been
out
on
to
the
Chi.
scene, but she's new with us.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
been on the scene since like 2011.
Yeah.
And
She's
took
been
some
on the
time
scene.
off.
Yeah, she
and
took
then
some
she
time off.
reconnected with Sue.
Yeah, she reconnected with Cap.
Mm-hmm.
She won a muscle up comp, right?
I think it was a muscle up comp. I think it's on YouTube actually.
Yeah,
I think
she's
it's
strong.
on YouTube. The muscle up competition, and she came back and she's been going in.
Yeah,
and
she's
she
leveling up
has been
quick.
one of my new inspirations.
Yes.
Being with her in the gym, like she, her
Yeah.
energy,
She's
her
so
vibe.
humble.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
sparking back. I'm watching her like,
Yeah.
yo. Because it's like when you first come in, you've got that hunger. You want it. You want every session. You want,
Mhm.
like, okay, what we doing today? I remember those days. I'm like,
Yeah, and
I
it's
need that
nonstop.
back.
Yes.
And
I
it's
need that back.
nonstop.
We actually reached out to her to give us a video of how she started calisthenics and what motivated her. So let's take a minute to look at it.
What's up, everybody? My name is Chi, and I'm a woman that loves calisthenics. So, a little background on myself. I used to play ball since I was a kid, so I've always been athletic. Once I got to high school, I stopped playing ball, and I started to work out a little bit, but nothing too crazy because we didn't have social media like we do now. So I didn't have the guidance, I didn't have the support. I didn't have a crew I worked out with, and I didn't know about calisthenics parks, or I would have been out there meeting people. But once I got to college, that's when I started working out a little bit more. I used to work out with the guys because I was like the only girl who was really into it. And shout out to my boy D Mac, but he's the first person who I knew who was into calisthenics, and he is actually the one who showed me the muscle up for the first time and how to get it. And it took me about 6 months to get the muscle up. But once I seen that, calisthenics like won my heart over forever, because I was like, wow, it's just not only pull-ups and push-ups, it's more than that. It's levels to it, and I like a challenge. So once I seen what calisthenics could do, the gains, everything, I never stopped. I used to lift weights a little bit, but nothing too crazy. I always go back to calisthenics. I think calisthenics is the best in my opinion. I like the outdoors, I like nature, and calisthenics is done outside, and it's a natural way of working out. So that's my go-to. And I would like to see more women doing it. I like to see women doing calisthenics, and I love to see women doing muscle ups because it's rare. It really is rare, but it's possible, you know, and, you know, women are strong and they need to embrace that. I feel like if women would embrace their masculinity and display the strength that we naturally possess, and we bring that balance into calisthenics, because calisthenics needs that feminine masculine balance because it's flooded with males, it's dominated by males right now. But once we bring that balance, calisthenics would be a whole nother animal. So, and I think that's probably one of the hardships that women face, is not having enough women to support it. You know, when you go to parks and stuff, you don't see as many women. So that's only the, you know, and that's probably why women shy away from it, because when you go to the park, you just see a bunch of dudes with their shirts off, and, you know, you might get intimidated. But, you know, if more women stepped into it, yeah, it'll be different. So that's all, folks. Peace.
I love Chi. I just gotta say that. I love Chi.
She's
Her
strong.
energy,
She
her
is
vibe.
so dope.
Now,
Yeah.
Chi is what I remember of myself. That hunger, she's got it.
Yes.
She wants every link up. She wants to know how to level up, and she's consistent.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she does it every session as well.
Yeah,
She's
definitely
hitting something
does.
new all the time.
I mean, and the fact that she said, you know, like, she's always been working out, similar to what you said. She took some time off, and then when she went to college, she reconnected again, and she started working out with the dudes. You know, and it kind of like that whole Spartan thing again. It's like,
That's where you get it.
you really get that work with the dudes. Not
Yeah.
saying you're not going to get it with females, but the guys, it's like
They
a
just
different,
push you a little
yes.
more.
Yeah,
There's
that's
something else
when
that you're fighting for.
you mold those mentals.
Yes.
We're stronger because of how they just make us be. Like,
Yeah.
the numbers are always high, the form is always critiqued, you know.
Yeah.
It's needed.
Yeah, they're
But
not
she is-
sugarcoating.
She
And
is
they're not
definitely
gonna-
leaving a footprint when it comes to calisthenics. She's very much about the community.
I gotta catch up.
And things like that. Yeah.
Catch up.
Yeah. Shout out to her. Instagram,
Cash only?
cash only, Illuminati. Shout out to her. You want that CMOS.
Yeah.
You know what's up.
Yeah.
If you want that good energy, period.
Yeah.
Word.
That's
Reach out.
Okay, so, alright. So, speaking of the community, how Chi was so much involved in that, that's something that we also became involved with. And we realized how many other women were competing. We got some OG women, such as Sin from Hawaii. She's one of the dopest females that we know right now. And she's doing everything from handstands. She does reps, she does muscle ups, she pretty much does it all. So calisthenics has grown so much that, you know, it's something that's growing into the West Coast. The West Coast is now doing competitions involving a lot of women from Seattle, from Las Vegas, from all parts of California and things like that. So we wanted to get a little bit of insight on, you know, their perspective and, you know, how they see calisthenics and things like that. So we actually reached out to Athena. Some of you may know her from Core Aesthetics. She's actually had, her and her husband have actually had an annual competition. They just had one last year, not too long ago. So we want to know how she got into calisthenics, because she's also into bodybuilding as well. So we're going to go ahead and play her testimony for you guys. Athena!
What's going on, New York fam? It's Athena from Core Aesthetics in California. Happy to be able to do this podcast for you guys on females in the calisthenics community. I hope who's ever watching, I'm able to inspire you, provide some insight, and hopefully make a difference in your journey. So I thought I would start off with the story that really kicked me off into this direction. Most people would think it is Bobby because he's always been into the fitness industry. He's very knowledgeable, but the honest truth is that it wasn't. It happened to be one day at 24 Hour Fitness. And the one day that I decided to go for trying to do a pull-up. Something that maybe a lot of people feel is intimidating, most desired exercise movement, but something that's kind of a little scary. And so he decided to start mentoring me through that, standing in front of a bar, and along comes this super fit girl who decides that she's gonna jump on the bar, and not just jump on the bar to do a pull-up, but her obvious vibe, her obvious energy, which I'm super sensitive to for those of you that know me, it was directed to me of, let me show up and show you what I can do. So instead of encouraging me, instead of motivating me or inspiring me or even befriending me, as she can see that I'm obviously trying to do this pull-up, she decides to go up for a high kick, pull-up, jump down, snarl at me, and walk away. So what do you think I did? I didn't even go for the pull-up. I got off of the stool that I was on, left the gym, and I didn't go back for a while. She crushed me. That's truly what she did. She kicked my confidence down. Instead of trying to be somebody to really help me out, she turned everything else for me inside out. And only because of that, honestly, I should thank her now. Because that's what put the fire underneath my ass to set me off in the right direction. And I took the negative and turned it into the positive. From there, Bob said just to go to basics, and that's what I did. I started off right here with my own tempo, the tempo that the Lord gave me. I started off with squats, started off with push-ups, started off with banded pull-ups, which I'm not afraid to admit that I still revert back to today, getting back to the basics. In addition to that, I started to meet an amazing community of people. I can probably go up and down the list, Meter and Evelyn, Melissa, Jen, everybody from Genuine Fitness, and Matt and Sam, and don't mean to leave anybody else out, but I'm kind of trying to do this in 4 minutes. And so just the whole entire calisthenics community of good vibrations, good people, have really, really helped me and inspired me till this very day. Leading up to today, obviously things have progressed, and I'm happy to say that it's super, super, super important to be able to connect with people that want to level you up, that want to lift you up, that have genuine spirits. And if you're like me, that is super sensitive to vibes, if you're super sensitive to the personality and the energies around you, you'll know if you're around the right community. So, day by day, goal by goal. Some days are good days, some days are bad days. Continue to push forward, do your best, forget the rest, and have fun. I love you guys. See you soon. Ciao.
She's cute. She's
Yeah.
super cute.
Yeah,
I love her.
yeah.
I like her.
Yeah, she's
I
just funny.
I
She's
haven't met
funny.
her personally, but just even listening, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I just want to give her a hug.
I like her.
One of the things that stuck out during her video was the fact that she said, you know, she's in the gym, she mustered up this courage. She's like, you know, I'm gonna get on this bar, and I'm gonna start. And then someone comes in,
Yeah.
right, gets on the bar,
Tries
do a
to
couple
show
of pulls,
off.
looks at her like walks away.
Yeah.
That is so rude.
Very.
Intimidating, you know,
Yeah,
for someone
it
who's
is.
just, you know, a novice to the game. You want the encouragement, especially as women, you know, we're
Yeah.
supposed to kind of stick together, help each other out. And I could definitely understand how she's feeling as far as like just feeling like, damn, I don't know, like if I should continue this. But
Yeah.
then she mustered up that courage, she
Yeah,
used that
she did.
negative and turned that
It's a
into
positive.
yes. So
Yeah,
for
'cause it can
anyone
be very
that's yes, for
discouraging,
anyone
too.
that's starting, don't compare yourself to anyone. You said that earlier. You were in competition with yourself. That's how you have to begin. You cannot compare your numbers to anyone else. Till you get to a certain level, then you might not. You know, it's competition time. But when you're beginning, it's you versus you, and that's very important. And I'm just so happy she had the mindset to just say, I'm going in here and I'm kicking ass. I'm gonna get my ish together.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, she's doing a whole lot with her bodybuilding, calisthenics wise, and competition. She's strong because she does weighted reps
Yeah,
as well.
she's very consistent.
She's
too.
she's very
Go ahead,
consistent. She's
Athena.
very
As we know,
encouraging.
consistency is key.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So shout out to Athena, one of the strongest girls out in the West
Yeah.
Coast. Not only her, but we also have Sam from Bar coming up. She coming up on the sneak. We see you, baby girl. We
Her
see you.
pulls,
Yeah,
oh my! I
She
remember she
getting up
first
there.
started just on IG, and then she's just kind of like her pull game just got so much stronger. And I think it was that competition with Barbarians. Where did you guys go and
For the workshop?
for the workshop? I think after that kind of like gave her
Yeah,
like the
sparked her.
battery. It sparked
Yeah.
it for her because it was just like one day I was just like, okay, you know, like she's average, she's you know, but then about a couple of months later, I was like, damn. 15
leveled
pulls,
up.
right?
She leveled up.
Yeah, she leveled up, and that was dope. Shout out to you, Sam.
Yeah, and
girl.
she works out around a lot of women, around
Yes,
a lot
yes,
of men.
yes.
On top of most of us being mothers and having kids, and it being difficult to take the time out to be able to do this, to be able to get together and actually put in the effort. I have so much respect for the women in calisthenics in general, but also for the mothers out there, because it becomes a little bit more difficult. So, what would you say is one of the most difficult things of being a mom and trying to train when it comes to these competitions?
Being a mom, trying to train, and having Snoop as a husband who also trains himself and trains others, it's very, very difficult to try to like get that time in the gym for yourself. But it's timing. Timing. I work full time in law enforcement. Come home, get the kids homework. By the time I get to bed, it's almost like, damn, I didn't even do a pull-up today. But then, it's a challenge, but it's worth it. It's worth it, and it teaches you self-discipline in the end. So for me, it's just balancing that time.
Okay. What would you say, Paige?
Being a new mom, it has been very rewarding, but for my working out, I'm drained. So when it's time to go work out, I'm telling myself to do it. I don't really want to. And thank goodness my fiance is very supportive to tell me, you going to the gym today? And I'm like, no, I'm tired. But I needed that to get me in there. So once I'm in there, here we go. By myself, it was very hard.
Yeah.
I'm in there, I'm doing maybe 5 reps. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Bust a sweat.
But if I'm with my team, I really need that to push me back because I got to keep reminding myself where I used to be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I need to just be better.
Yes.
Don't think about any of that.
Yes.
So, he's getting a little older now. It's becoming a little easier. Home workouts, he's messing me up. I'm trying to focus. He's all over the place.
Yeah.
So, it is a little harder, but there's women out here who all got kids.
Yeah.
They're still doing it.
Yeah.
More than one kid.
Yeah.
So,
And that's the greatest thing about calisthenics is that you can pretty much do that anywhere.
It's your body weight.
Anywhere. You find a bar, you do a pull-up.
Yeah.
On the floor, you do a push-up.
Use your child to
And
work out.
it teaches your children as well, because even with my shout out to my kids, Christopher and Casey, I love you. But I'm doing push-ups, and they're like doing it along with me.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The other day we
motivation.
were at Boss Life's event, and Casey, she's just like soaking everything in. Everyone was like on the bar, they're doing tricks and everything, and she's not shy. She gets up there, she's like, Mommy, and she points to the bar. So I put her up there. She's trying to get up there, she's trying to do a little muscle ups, and then she gets down on the floor. One of the guys, as he was doing a trick, it looked like he was like kind of breakdancing. And she gets out there and started doing a little something. And I was just like, look at this little girl go. Gets on the floor, picks one of her legs up, so now she's trying to do a handstand. I have to hold her. So this is her putting on a show. But I say that to say that they're watching her.
They're watching.
You know what I'm saying? And
They're
this has become something positive in her life, because even Chris at night, he tries to do his little push-ups. It's great.
It's amazing.
As they say, we do this for the
It's
culture.
amazing.
Yes.
And just in general, back to my Sparta team, like my girls have been amazing because they've been mothers before me.
Yes.
Kita has 2, Trish has 2, Lettie has 1, but at the end of the day, they're always making time to work out, and they're strong as hell. So I used to always say there's no excuse for me, and even now, just keep pushing, and we feed off each other's energy.
Now, what would you guys say is one of the hardest movements for you guys? Or
Muscle up.
your favorite movements?
Girl,
as
I
well?
didn't even get to muscle up.
Muscle up, because I think I've had everybody try to train me, and they're telling me what to do, and it's like, I get it. They're like, just do it, and I go to do it, and I'm like, it's so weird.
But I think you were at a good point, because I think
I do chicken
sidebar,
wings.
but you still
No,
got
he
up.
had
like
me-
you have to throw me.
No, he had me literally the smoothest and the quickest.
Yes,
he told me to
exactly.
do it, and I was like, yes, sir, because I was
Shout
scared
out
of
to
him too.
Cyber.
I was
Yes.
scared of him too, so I got it right away. But then I just got into the chicken wing phase, and you know, from there.
What's your favorite movement?
I want to say push-ups.
Push-ups.
I think
Okay.
push-ups.
Yeah, you're really strong in push-ups.
Because
You're
I
formulating.
really critiqued from there. I remember when I first started, I was off, and I'm big on, am I doing it right? If I'm
Yes.
doing it wrong, stop me. Do not have me continue doing it, looking crazy, looking stupid. And, you know, I remember Shy used to be on top of me like,
Yes.
no, until you get this right. And once I got them right, and then the speed came, I was in
It
love.
was
Yes.
Oh, I'm busting about. So
What about you?
yeah.
What is the most difficult exercise?
Pull-ups.
Pull-ups? Okay.
I don't know what it is. Like I said earlier, it's like my kryptonite. Lord knows it takes a lot of training for me to actually master this. But over the summer, my kids were away. Shout out to my in-laws for taking me for the summer. But I actually reached 10 pulls, so I was really excited. And that was because I was OD,
Okay.
like fixed on pull-ups and just training. So I had the time to do so. My best, I would say push-ups. I love push-ups.
Okay.
Love push-ups.
We're kind of known for that. We're kind of known for our push-ups.
Push-ups.
So for me, one of the hardest exercise has always been the muscle up. Just like Paige, I could have 100 people tell me how to do it, and my mind just be like, no.
And I can see it. I can see it when she's on that bar. I'm like, it's the same with me. Like they're telling you, and you got it, but it's like when you go to execute it, it's like, and the way she does it, it's like, yes,
I have
that's
no
even
idea.
harder.
I have no idea how I do it, but
It's
I be
even
trying. I still gotta learn. I'm still learning. I'm still practicing. One of my favorite movements would probably also be push-ups. I just feel like that's just our thing. And I hit 100 not too long ago, and that was brutal.
Men numbers.
That was brutal. But speaking of muscle ups, actually, one of the most difficult movements, something that we all see, and we're just like, how do you do that? Like, that's so amazing, and to see these guys do it so effortlessly. But when you see a woman do it, like
This woman
it's just
leveled up.
different. It's just different. So
It's like calisthenics sexy.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, kid.
Yeah. 'Cause she's graceful.
Yeah.
very
Just
It just-
smooth with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
And she's cute.
and she's cute. She's
Shout out.
Shout out to Emmy. Shout out to Emmy. She came on the scene probably like 2 years ago, if I'm not incorrect. And she started off with winter reps from Boss Life.
Yes.
That's kind of how she started. And then from then, she kind of just blossomed. It's been crazy.
She is one of the most disciplined
Yeah.
person I know.
And once again, consistent. Like, if she puts her mind on something, she works until she gets it how she wants it.
Yeah, so of course,
every day.
we reached out to her because we wanted to know what inspired her. What is her mental ability like and things like that. So we're gonna go insert a clip of her testimony. Here you go.
Hi guys, my name is Noemi. I want to first start off by thanking Snoop for inviting me onto his podcast. I'm a huge fan of the last episode on legs. I'm actually growing my legs right now, and I've been doing all this research, so I felt like commenting would help anybody who comes across your YouTube channel and wants to know more about that information. What made me choose calisthenics, and honestly, calisthenics chose me. I started doing yoga when I was in college just to get over my anxiety and the depression I was feeling when I was younger. Yoga is also calisthenics. If a lot of people think it's just spiritual and meditation, it's also very physical. I wanted to get stronger at yoga, so I started to do calisthenics through Bar Stars. I found Samir Mora. He invited anybody to go to Dykeman to work out as a community. I went there. I've never done this many push-ups, pull-ups, dips ever in my life in one go, and I was so sore. It's so crazy. So what makes me keep going is the fact that there's such a large calisthenics community. I've met so many people I otherwise wouldn't have met. I have people messaging me inspired by my journey to the muscle up, to the handstand, to I just got the 360 on the bar. handstand press. It's been such an amazing year. The community aspect of it keeps me going and motivated. It's not about accumulating like accolades or anything like that for me. It's literally just getting over that anxiety and depression that I was feeling when I was first starting yoga. Calisthenics is now just an extension of that for me. As a woman, I don't see it as like a man's workout or a woman's workout. I just see it as me having fun and getting strong and looking good and feeling good, feeling powerful. I think the best way that a woman should get into calisthenics is through other women, because no offense to men, sometimes it's intimidating for women. We think that we don't have the ability to do the things that you can, but when you see a woman do the things that the men can, then it inspires you to do it. So like for me, it was Spidey, and seeing her freestyle on the bar made me feel like, yo, like I can do this too. Whereas like seeing the other guys, like, yeah, I was like, okay, I could probably do half of what they do. But when you see another girl, you're like, yo, I could do everything that this girl does, because she's a girl, I'm a girl, we can do it together. I'm actually writing an ebook on this that's tentatively coming out in January. I've been getting all these messages on how to get certain skills, and I just can't respond to all of them the best way that I can, and I like to be very thorough in my explanations. So tons of editing on videos and explanations on how to get specific skills like flag, muscle up, handstand, and building these things from scratch too. Like if you can't even hold a plank for 30 seconds, I have 2 12-week programs in there that are for beginner and an intermediate to help you build up to these things. I'd say the 2 important things to work on would be pushing and pulling, and the most basic forms of that is pushing and holding in a plank, like just a regular straight on plank, and hanging. So a pulling exercise is hanging. Hanging for as long as you can. Trust me, if you can hang for like 2, 3, 5 minutes, anything that you do on the bar will feel like butter, just because you need to be able to support your body weight. The first thing to give out sometimes is your hands, so definitely work on conditioning your hands. I like to open and close my hands to warm up, like super fast. You do like 10 slow and then 10 super fast. Your forearms and your hand muscles are gonna be on fire, so you should try that right now. You should pause the video and do that right now.
Shout out to Emmy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Emmy.
Wow.
Shout out to Emmy. She is crazy because she started off with yoga.
Yeah.
Her
That's
flexibility.
strength.
is
No, and it's strength.
Yeah.
Like, yoga is body strength.
It
Okay, and
I
then
still
just to
ain't
see
into
how she
that.
transitioned
This one too
into
with
calisthenics.
yoga.
Yes, you
This
too.
one
we
too.
not
A
gonna
little
talk about
sexy
We
yoga.
not gonna talk
Videos.
about it.
Nighttime.
He is not
Look,
gonna
nighttime
touch it.
cat
videos. I'll be like,
So anyway, back to Emmy.
yeah, Emmy, my bad.
Back to Emmy. Shout out to Emmy.
When we gonna get those back?
My man got those.
Shout out to my man.
So anyways, shout out to Emmy that's been leveling up like
Yes,
crazy.
yes.
Her handstands, her muscle ups, and she's going into freestyling.
Yes.
It's pretty crazy, and she's out there doing it, and she's creating her own programs and things like that. Like that's motivation right there.
I just
And
wanted
she's
to say
in school.
how
And she's in
humble
school.
she is.
Yeah.
She's
so
always
sweet.
willing to
Yes.
help any female.
Yeah.
You need help, she's right there
Yes.
showing you. Like,
Yes.
I love the energy.
Yeah.
She's a sweetie.
Yeah. So that's very inspiring when it comes to the calisthenics world, is having women, you know, because it could be very intimidating. Just like
Yeah.
going back to Athena, where it's just like you have somebody that shows off, and it could be very discouraging, and you're like, you know what, I don't want to come back here, I don't want to do this. But then when you have other women who are open and want to teach you and are there, it's different, because then you got women like us that we kind of just come together because we want to see you win. We want to see you progress and things like that when it comes to calisthenics.
And what about like the expectations of women working out, like body figure wise? Like, what would you tell?
Well,
You know,
first of all, we all work out. We all very strong, calisthenics, weights, whatever, and we all look feminine and sexy.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us look manly, boxy, or whatever.
But of course,
the
but of
stereotypes
course we
are.
get that.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
get that.
But even then, it's like, even if you have more of a muscular structure, you know, your body type is your body type.
Exactly.
You know, don't
How
compare
you want it to
yourself
look.
to anyone else. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I know some women struggle. They're like, oh, I don't want to look too manly, and it's just
Mhm.
like, no, it's muscle.
That's how.
It's
That's.
okay.
I feel like us in the very beginning we did. We thought about
Yeah.
it. We don't want to look like that. We want to be strong, but we don't want to look like that. Because I've gotten a lot of, because I have very broad shoulders. So that's
Right.
one of the things that people see. And it's just like at first in the beginning, like you're getting too big, and I'm looking at myself and I'm like, am I getting too big? Like let me hold off. Let me not do so many push-ups.
But that's your own personal
Exactly.
image. Like,
Exactly.
who are you to say I'm getting too big?
Exactly.
And I think, well, I know Trisha's gotten that a lot too, where people are telling her she's getting too big or bulky, and she pays it no mind.
But she
Trish got
has a great body.
Yeah, but
I'm like,
she had no, but
You see this?
she has complained that some people have
Yeah.
said that, like, you work out too much, you doing this, and just to bring that into
Yeah.
what we're talking about. That's her body. That's the look she wants, and she wants to get bigger. So for people to be like, "Oh, you're doing too much. You're doing," there's always gonna
and
be
if
people.
you're fine with it,
That's all.
Yeah,
that matters.
because eventually you start to learn what works for you,
Yep.
what is best for you.
Mhm.
Like me, like I love calisthenics, but
Mhm.
at the same time, like I'm focusing more on my lower body.
Yeah, that
You know,
balance.
so and I'm starting to see the difference
Mm.
between my body because I'm starting to figure out what works best and what doesn't work.
that
best.
booty growing. So you liking that?
All right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this episode up. I hope you guys enjoyed it, got a new perspective when it comes to women, especially us being mothers. We have a different view on it and things like that. And I guess our message in general, I think I can speak for everybody, that we want to encourage women. And
Girls.
women have been encouraged and motivated to join into calisthenics. Not even just women, but girls as well. You have
Yes,
young
yes.
girls.
How many times have we been? Sorry to cut you off, on the bar, and little girls have been.
yes,
part-
comes up.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And they're like, I'm gonna do that. Or
Yes,
little boys.
or little boys.
Mhm.
Because we want to continue this. We want to, we want to raise our daughters, our sons to realize that this is something that they can do, not just because they're men and not just because they're women. But we also want to encourage the women to get out there and compete as well. The more that go out there, the more these competitions continue to grow and last at that. To go out there and conquer your fears and not be afraid to ask for help. If you see somebody in the gym, encourage them a little. It's about how you say things, and what you say. So giving somebody a little pointer if you see a woman out there struggling and things like that. So we just want to do a special shout out to all the calisthenic women, all the people that motivated us and inspired us. Open bar.
Open bar. Open bar.
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 Open bar.
Open bar.
Okay, so we gonna wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode 3 of Barcast. Podcast of Open Bar.
Yes.
You already
Do
know.
it for the ladies.
Cut and print.
Open bar.
Open Bar.
Open bar. Open bar.
Time.
Check your phone.
Oh.
Slow ass.
Time.
Like I'm like,
We were having
what that means?